Okay, so what's up? It's just me again. I got me another third-person shooter devlog video up. I know it's been a while again. I've been dealing with a lot of stuff, and I've been trying to learn more about this stuff as well, but once again, we've been hitting some more roadblocks, so unsurprisingly, yeah. And you know how demoralizing those are. Oh, and quick thing before I start this video, please do not tell me to switch to Unreal Engine. I spent 4 months taking courses for C# programming, specifically for Unity. I do not want to take another 4 months to relearn the same exact stuff for Unreal Engine. So just putting that out there. So I actually haven't watched my last devlog, so I don't know how different it is, but we've been making some improvements. I've been following the tutorials for Gad Games. He made some really good tutorials over on YouTube, which is where this is gonna end up. So sorry. But yeah, he has a series on making a third-person shooter game, and it's been working out very well. The only thing I don't like about it is that he uses models taken from Mixamo, whereas I want to learn how to use models I create myself. And so that's been giving us some very nasty hiccups along the way, as you can see here, with this freaking abomination on this scene view right here. Yeah, I don't know how to get him to stay to a default T pose. I think it's because the crouch animation is at the top of the animation list, and that's what he's doing right there. And when I do, after I made some adjustments following some of Gad's tutorials, he just makes these weird positions. Don't really know how to mess around, fix that. So anyway, let's take a look at it. Yeah, whatever. As you can see, I can move my mouse around and he looks at it. He's actually looking at a sphere. That's what this aim position thing that's disabled right now is. And that's what he's designed to aim at, according to the scripting that Gadchip made. I made a model for a Sten gun, but for some reason when I imported it into Unity, it flipped it around, so the reload animation looks a bit ass. Although I did make a reload animation, and we can shoot. It even has sounds and a muzzle flash and projectiles. Take a look. And here's the reload. The magazine was supposed to be on the other side. But again, Unity flipped that for some stupid-ass reason. And as you can clearly see, he's sunken through the ground. What's the reasoning for this? Well, when I press C, he crouches, and now he's on where he's supposed to be, but now that's not why. Anyway, the real obstacle I've been facing is the jumping. I just finished Gad's jumping tutorial, and it does work for the most part, although when you're standing still and press jump, yeah, the jump animation is ass, I know. Huh. Sometimes it works if you do something else besides jumping, but when you press the spacebar, he doesn't jump again. I guess it still thinks he's falling, maybe? I don't know, and let me see if it does the thing. Gad's tutorials have still been very helpful. I highly recommend doing his tutorials if you want to make a third-person shooter, but if we don't do anything and press jump, now he won't move. Yeah, I don't know why he's doing that. I was reading the comments section for Gad's thing, and there was one person who gave a solution, and I tried it, but it didn't work. I think it made things even worse. He couldn't move at all right from the start. So anyway, regarding that, the reason why he's sunk into the ground is because I wanted to make it so that his feet would touch the ground when he's crouched. And as you can see here, it's at negative 98, and that's why he's somewhat sunken through the ground. If we set it to 0, then we set it to try it again, he's floating in the air now. I don't know why he does this. So if I set it to something like 0.6, wait, let's try this. He's still in the air. Was it negative 0.6? Stupid. Yes. So yeah, now his feet are on the ground, but when I crouch, he floats in the air. I'm assuming this has to do something with my Blender model. And yes, I know, I'm well aware. I do like the fact that I was able to get him to shoot. That is really satisfying. So yeah, that's why why I made him clip through the ground, because his crouch animation. I actually have my Blender model open now. Here's the model I made. I don't know why a lot of the bones are now facing odd directions. I re-imported this from the Unity project to see if there's anything wrong. As you can see, when he's in his idle animation, it's planted firmly on the ground. We have a list of animations. Here's the crouch idle animation. And again, it's also firmly on the ground. We don't need that cube. Let's get that out. Yeah, I didn't have any exact references for some of these animations. That's why they all kind of look like ass. Yep, just him doing an idle animation. So yeah, I don't know why he's hovering in the air, though I suspect it might have something to do with this. Maybe it's because that movement was somehow added into the animation, and it's causing him to float in the air. Although, wouldn't it be the other way? Wouldn't he be like sinking further into the ground if it was like this? Either way, I'm not quite sure how to fix that. It's something I'm going to have to work on. Again, if anyone has any answers to these problems, I beg you to put them in the comments below to help me out with this. I've really been wanting to make a third-person shooter, and I know it's a Herculean task, but I still want to do it. I don't want to spend hours... Whenever I watch tutorials and people are talking about tutorial hell, they're saying, oh, just start with a simple project. It's like, dude, I do not want to make a freaking 2D platformer where you just jump over one gap and go to this little shaded spot to end the section. How the hell is that supposed to help me with this freaking make a third-person shooter? No, I ain't doing that crap. I can make a basic third-person shooter, maybe where you just shoot some targets floating around. That I'm fine with. But again, yeah. So let's see. And also, a weird thing. This is the model here, but when I click on it, or even the player, it defaults to this, right at the end of the gun. That's because the end of the gun is actually an empty object that we used as a reference for where the bullet spawns in from. And yet, for some reason, it defaults to this whenever I click on the player. Could that have something to do with the jumping problem? I'm not sure. Anyway, let's take a quick look at the scripts, too. Here's the movement state manager. Really good way to control all this stuff. It's a little confusing. I'm not sure I'd ever be able to figure this out on my own. But, yeah, it works out really good. The main thing we were focused... Feel free to slow the video down to get a closer look at the code. Gad also made a fully complete version of his tutorial that you can download from itch.io, so you can look at it too. This is the thing that checks to see if we're touching the ground, and I think this might have something to do with it. Originally, it was just a bool, not a public bool, but I needed to change that because I needed to use it in this script right here, the JumpState script, and it wouldn't let me use it unless it was public, though there might be another way to do that. And so someone on YouTube suggested adding something, modifying this code a bit, which included getting rid of this, but then my character wouldn't move at all. I just left this as a note here to keep this in mind as a potential error. Yep, and there's gravity. Here's our crouch state. I was wondering if this might have had something to do with why my crouching is acting weird, but I think it might just be the animation. I'll have to check that. The idle state. The run state, for when we're sprinting. The walk state. How the hell did Gad learn all of this? That guy is a frickin' genius. The jump state again. We have several jumping animations added, actually. Another thing I've noticed I need to point out is these animations here, these were ripped from updated versions of my model. Because every time I see we needed new animations, I would create them on the base rigged model. Then I would export that as a new version of that model, and I would then put it down here. As you can see, here, let's move this out. This is the one we're using right now, and this is the one with the jumping animations added. I copied and pasted the jumping animations outside so I could rip them off that model and then put them on this model. Though I'm wondering if could that have some adverse effect? I'm just saying it's be kind of annoying to constantly make. I was kind of afraid to like replace this model with this model because I was worried that would break all the animations. So that's why I just ripped the animations off of that and then put them on in this folder here that we could then put in our animator. And here's the animator, by the way. Nothing fancy, but this is how Gad did it. Did Gad have an idle state in here? In the animator? I'm gonna have to look through his videos again and see if I missed something. That's entirely possible. And here are the jump animations. We have a jump for when we're standing still, a jump for when we're running, and a falling animation. And we were supposed to have coded all of these in the scripting. Here's an action state manager. Not sure if that's right now. Found some cool sound effects for the guns, though. And here's weapon ammo. This, I think, determines our clip size and some other stuff. The weapon manager. Game object, bullets, all that stuff. And this is how we made the muzzle flare. I had to make my own muzzle flash because Gad said Unfort must have forgotten to put his muzzle flash file in the description because I couldn't find it, so I had to make my own crappy one, but it still came out fairly well. Yeah, he's a great YouTuber. Here's the aim state manager. Oh yeah, my aiming down sights animation is kind of messed up as well. Wrong thing. He's supposed to be gripping the front of the gun. You're not supposed to hold a sten by the... And he's floating in the air again. I thought I fixed that. Oh, it's because it was in pause when I did it. And it doesn't stay when it's in pause. Let's try it now. Yep. Still floating when we crouch. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering why his arm is twitching, I mistakenly believe that when he was adding the idle pose for the gun, I thought it was supposed to be the firing animation, and so, yeah, he's just doing the firing animation all the time. Yeah, that was my bad. Hopefully I'll fix that. And so here's his regular fire. Aiming looks a bit off. The bullets don't seem to be going exactly where the gun is pointed. I love that reload animation, though. Glad I was able to do that. And here's the aim down sights. As you can see, his hand isn't exactly where it's supposed to be, and the gun appears to be crooked. He did not have that problem on his thing, so it's probably something else on my end. Yeah. Sorry, aim state, man. And we have some other scripts, too. We have, like, aim state and run state, bullet, camera, character move. Oh, I wonder if that had something to do with it. Let's open her up. Vector 2, turn, sensitivity, delta move. No, I don't think that has anything to do with it. So yeah, this is what I've been up to so far. I have made some progress, but still haven't been able to I hit another roadblock, and every time I hit one of these damn roadblocks, it always leads to extreme frustration and demoralizing stuff. So, You guys have any suggestions on how to fix this jumping problem? I would like to fix it, but I'd like to make a better jumping animation, that's for sure. I just wish... So yeah, in the comments, leave some suggestions or share this with some experienced Unity guys. I would really appreciate that. And thanks for taking the time to watch this, and I hope I'll be able to continue this in the future, because I do enjoy learning about this. I squeal at glee every time I see some new scripting and stuff. So until then, yeah, I think it has something to do with this stuff. I don't think you can see my mouse. I'm swirling it around this little line above his back. So yeah, until then, I'll see you guys next time, and hopefully we'll get some more devlogs uploaded in the future. Have fun.